today we've got the first E3 press conference, which was E3. They've done this a little bit earlier this time because it's in conjunction with their EA Play. I did get an invite to go down to London to go to that event. A little bit gutted I couldn't make it. It's just an absolute pain for me to get down to the London Apollo. It's in the centre of London. It's a good 200-mile trip for me, something like that, to get there and back in a night. It's just a nightmare, especially on a Sunday, and not knowing anyone else there. It'd been nice to be able to share a room or something, but anyway, I digress. Let's get straight into it. Let's get into what EA did at this press conference. So they kicked off the show with announcing that we're going to see some gameplay footage, the first ever 64-player game of Battlefield 1. So that we'll talk about later on in another video, but that's the way they kicked off the show. Straight from there, they went into Titanfall 2. And we saw some gameplay footage and a bit more info about Titanfall 2. This time it's coming on the PS4 as well as Xbox One and PC. There was something I did notice inside the video, that there's a grappling hook now that you've got, and it looks like you can use that to catapult yourself over other Titans to get inside your own and get up to different heights and things like that. So that is pretty cool. There's seems to be some new voices, so the Titans themselves have actually had a bit of an update. And I noticed that some of them had a bit more of a raspy tone to them, which is pretty cool. I don't know if there's any celebs doing voices there, but we shall see. There's a new grav grenade, is what I've called it. Basically, it looks like you throw a grenade to a certain area, and it actually sucks everyone into that area, which is pretty nice. So that means you can do like a mass killing if anybody that's trapped in there. There's more new Titans. I think they've said in total there's 6 new Titans. It looks like they have different abilities. Some look like they can actually fight and do a bit of martial arts kind of thing, which is pretty cool. And it looks like you've also got new entrances of how you get into the Titan. So there's a clip where you see someone sliding underneath the Titan, and then he grabs them and flicks them inside to the Titan, which is really good. Looks like there might be a few different colour options and things like that. They did say that they have been listening to all the feedback from the Xbox One. Obviously the biggest one there was the fact that it's not on other platforms, so that's something they've delivered on, and they want to make the game more diverse and interesting and adding a lot more new features to it. There's going to be a Titanfall stress test. I'm not sure when that's going to be. I think they said summer, but there's going to be a stress test on the server, so keep your eyes and ears open for that, so you'll be able to get your hands on the game before it actually launches and help with their stress testing. And they've announced a single player mode. Now the trailer for the single player mode looked really good. It's more about the relationship between you and your Titan, so it'll be interesting just to see what more they've got to bring to the plate on actual Titanfall and the single player there, which everyone was saying it needed to be in the game really. And don't forget that the game is actually launching on the 28th of October this year. I'm not sure if there's any regional releases yet. That was just a standard release date, so whether it's going to be different for us here in the UK or Europe and US and whatever. But that was it. That was just the date set for that. Next up, we had the new Madden game, so it's that season again where we're going to get introduced to all the new games. And they're saying that this time they're updating the franchise quite a lot. There's a new commentary team, and that was about it. The franchise season's been updated. I don't mind playing these games. I wouldn't say I'm a massive fan. The main reason why I've been playing them recently is because I have EA access and it's free. Play it with a couple of mates. I do like to watch NFL when I can, but the time zone makes that really hard. But yeah, so there's another new Madden game coming out, and I think it's using the Frostbite engine. This whole press conference was massively heavy on their Frostbite engine, which they're using on a lot of things. So I believe it's on that, and it looks really, really good. From then, they went straight into, from the Madden bit, going into that they've got in all of their EA games, or near enough all of them, you've now got competitive modes in all games apparently. You've got Challenger, Premier, and EA Major. So Challenger is where you can run your own competitions and leagues and different things like that. So I could set something up and we could all play together and see who's the best at Titanfall, or just set up a league system on Titanfall. From then you've got the Premier, which EA and other partners, so you might get something from Astro, something from Elgato, Turtle Beach, people like that who may start up a little league and something for you to win and qualifying events and different things like that. And then you've got EA Major, which is their major EA hosted events where it's got big money prizes. And I think their next NFL or might be FIFA NHL, sorry, or FIFA game may have, it has got a $1 million entrance, or not entrance point, win prize, which is really good. That's in dollars, so that is pretty cool. Next up for me was the biggest disappointment for their press conference, which was the Mass Effect Andromeda, whatever you pronounce it, which is in that galaxy. They're saying it's going to be a new adventure into the future, more freedom, and it's got the Frostbite engine. So the new adventure is basically, from what I could gather and from what the guys were saying, is that you go into a deep sleep to go to this Andromeda, however you pronounce it. Do apologise, I'm butchering it. But you go into a deep sleep, and you're in a deep sleep for that long that a lot of technology and future has completely changed, which means that things are going to be a lot more different, and this is how they're going to be getting away with upgrading the game and changing a lot of things. So it's very interesting what they're doing with it, but the biggest disappointment for me is I still don't really know a lot other than the storyline, and there's a bit more freedom and you can select more text and different things like that, but we didn't get to see any more gameplay. What the fuck, EA? Give us some gameplay, guys. Show us what you're actually doing. We've seen a lot of pretty stuff, and we've seen the behind the scenes jibber jabber. Give us some gameplay footage. Give us a date. Give us something that we can see. There's a lot of guys out there, myself included, that love the Mass Effect series, and I need something. I need some gameplay. I need to see what's going to be happening in this game. Come on, guys, get it together. The next thing they touched upon in the conference was that they're doing a massive charity event. There's going to be, over this week, certain things that you can do in some of their games that will pop up on FIFA, NHL, I think Battlefield, Battlefront, different things like that, where you actually get to contribute something towards charity, and the amount of goals scored and stuff like that they'll actually donate to charity. So that's pretty cool. Nice one, EA. Next up, there was quite a bit on FIFA. Not a massive football fan, or soccer, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a massive fan. Do watch England occasionally, but yeah, it's not my bag. But FIFA seems to be getting an upgrade to the Frostbite engine, just like everything else. And there's the Journey story mode, and they've now got managers on the sideline, and Jose Mourinho was on the stage. Seemed a bit awkward with the conference, but hey ho, that's E3 for you. Let's make everyone as uncomfortable as possible. Next up, we had a little sneak peek at what's called EA Originals, and this basically goes back to what they did with Tangled, or Unraveled, sorry, not Tangled, where they had a indie developer. They helped them make the game and helped them publish it and different things, and I haven't played it, but I've heard a lot of really good things about that game. And EA Original is their way of supporting smaller devs and helping them basically publish and develop their game, and all the money that they make actually goes back to them, and EA don't take a cut at all. I presume they may get something, but apparently all the money that is made goes back to the devs. And then that brought us on to a game called V, which is another random game. There's not much speaking in it, and you play this cute little thing, and you're in a almost like a paper world. It's a bit strange how it's all like squared off, but it seemed pretty good, and you get to play exactly how you want to do and everything you want, really. So it seems pretty cool. I'm sure we'll get some more information on that soon. Second to last, we got lots of Star Wars news, but it was a lot of nothing. So basically they're going to continue to upgrade Battlefront, and Battlefront you're going to get, there's a few more things coming out for that up till next year, and in 2017 they did announce that we will be getting a new Battlefront, and that's going to see a lot more of the original characters and characters out of the story, out of the film, and things like that. So rather than them going to different parts of Tatooine and not really having a lot of the characters from the other films, they're actually starting to integrate that more from fan feedback. The other thing is Visceral Studios are creating a game which we're going to see in 2018. So this is basically EA pitching the next 2 or 3 years worth of E3s. So it's not bad. We're going to get lots of Star Wars games, and I'm glad that they're not rushing them out, but it'd be nice to say, well, this is what you're going to get this year. But the Visceral game actually looked like it was a Sith game. There's a little clip during the feature which I'll try and get into a little bit more depth in another video, but it looked like it's going to be a Sith game, because you walk out of a out of a building, and you see a lot of TIE fighters going across, and it gave a very Sithy feeling to me, and it's going to be a third-person game by the looks of it. And then sometime 2019, 2020, I don't know, Respawn are actually creating a third-person game in a different era, doing their own thing, which is going to be really interesting. Who knows what that's going to be, but that's as much information as we got from the Star Wars side of things. Next up, we had Battlefield 1. They seem to play the same trailer twice. It might have just been me, but hey, it looks good. But it'd be nice to see a little bit more. But we did get to see more after the E3 presentation, where you got to see footage. There was a very awkward segment during their press conference where you had Zac Efron and Jamie Foxx, who are the two team leaders for the 64-player battle that was going to happen afterwards, and it just seemed very bizarre. And there's a beta later this summer, and if you are a Battlefield insider or EA insider, you actually will get first dibs on the beta, as far as I'm aware. So that's it for the EA press conference. It wasn't too bad. Some things were a little bit cheesy. It was the same stuff as always. We already know about Battlefield 1 because they pulled the trigger on that early. They've not really told us much about Star Wars. Mass Effect was disappointing. You've got your usual franchises from NFL and FIFA. Nothing on NBA, but I'm sure that's out there. So the biggest takeaway for me for this press conference was actually Titanfall 2. We got a little bit more information, and obviously it's now 100% confirmed that it is on PS4, which we knew anyway. And just a few different takeaways from that. They did leak the single player a little bit early, but it was nice to hear that they're doing a single player game as well. So that is it really. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what you thought to the E3 presentation from EA. And until next time, guys, I'll see you on the next video.